If you feel stiff when you record, if your ideas disappear when the camera comes on, if you overthink how you look, how you sound, or how you appear overall, it's not that you're bad on camera. You're just self-conscious. And self-consciousness is the enemy of flow. Let me show you how to release it. Flow can only happen when the self-conscious mind steps aside and your expressive self steps forward. Self-consciousness blocks expression. Presence unlocks it. First off, self-consciousness splits your attention. Flow requires a single point of attention. And self-consciousness splits that attention into two. There's one part that's creating. That's what you think all your attention is aimed at. That's the direction that you're going in. I'm creating. That's one part. But the other part is judging the creation. Literally judging what you create as you create it. In this inner observer voice, it says, how do I look right now? Am I sounding weird? Is this good enough? What will people think? You're asking yourself all these questions while you're trying to create. Do I look confident? And this creates an internal friction that actually blocks the flow instantly. You can't express freely while you're watching yourself express. Does that make sense? You can't express freely while you're watching yourself express. Self-consciousness is a survival response. It's not a creative one. Self-consciousness activates when your nervous system feels exposed, when it feels vulnerable or judged, like you feel like you're being evaluated and you're unsafe. It tries to protect you. And it does this by monitoring your behavior so you don't make mistakes. But this protective mechanism interrupts creativity. And creative expression requires openness. Self-consciousness creates contraction. And flow can't occur in the midst of contraction. So flow emerges when the performing self steps back. Flow happens when you stop performing and self-monitoring. When you stop filtering, you stop rehearsing, you stop assessing, you stop evaluating, and you allow yourself to speak naturally. Just relax and speak naturally. You move intuitively. Your body knows what to do if you allow it to do that. You express freely. You follow impulses and you trust your voice. You stay present. Your flow is pure expression without the internal interruption. Your real creative voice lives in this space. What's interesting is that you can't think and flow at the same time. I'll say that again. You can't think and flow at the same time. This is the metaphysical truth. Overthinking replaces flow. Presence produces flow. Thinking pulls you out of the moment. Flow keeps you inside the moment. When you overthink, your energy tightens. Your creativity freezes. Your intuition shuts down. Your delivery becomes stiff. Your presence disappears. Flow requires surrender, not control. Flow is a state of no observation, no self-observation. Flow feels like disappearing into the moment. Have you ever had that instance when you just disappear into the moment? You forget about yourself. You lose track of time. You become absorbed in expression. You move without hesitation. You speak without doubt. This happens when the inner watcher goes silent. You're not observing yourself. You're being yourself. You're not observing yourself. You're being yourself. You're not observing yourself. You're being yourself. That is flow. Let's talk about how to release self-consciousness and inner flow. This is called the presence method. Here's a process that consistently dissolves self-consciousness. Step 1, shift your attention outward. You place your focus on the message, the intention, the audience, not yourself. Flow, it follows an outward focus. So you're focused on your audience. What is the message that you want to deliver? What do you want them to know? Focus on that instead of yourself, which leads directly to step 2, which is to reduce the internal monitoring. Say to yourself internally, I don't need to watch myself. I don't need to pay attention to myself while I'm trying to pay attention to my audience. And this will quiet the inner observer. It doesn't remove them entirely. It doesn't eliminate the inner observer. The inner observer is always there, but it will quiet the inner observer. So it's not so loud. And then step 3, relax the body. Just relax. Release that shoulder tension. No, not like this, but just relax. Relax. When you alter your physical state, it helps to alter your mental state. So release the shoulder tension, unclench your jaw, loosen your breath. Just breathe, just relax. A relaxed body is an open channel. And step 4, speak from presence, not performance. Ask, what am I expressing right now? Not what am I trying to prove, but what am I expressing? And here's the interesting thing about expressing something. It's not dependent upon whether or not someone agrees with you, whether they accept what you're saying. You just express it. Get it off your chest. That's what that means. Get it off your chest. Express it. Just get it out. And after that, it's up to the world. It's up to them to do with it what they may. Your job is to create, to express. Don't ask yourself what you're trying to prove. Ask yourself what you're expressing. And step 5, follow the impulse. The first impulse is always the flow invitation. You're being invited into the flow. So don't overthink it, just move with it. And that ties us into step 6, which is stay in the moment. Flow lives in the present. Self-consciousness lives in the future. Keep your awareness here, not ahead. Again, that's all we have is now. Really, that's all we have is the present. The past can't be altered. The future must be created. But all we have is the present. That's all you got. So stay here with all you got and do what you can with what you have. Stay in the present. Don't focus on the future. I'll leave you with this. Flow emerges the moment that self-consciousness dissolves. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to look a certain way. You don't need to sound impressive. You only need to be present. And when the inner observer steps aside, the creator steps forward. And that's when flow becomes effortless. So next up in this micro series, we'll talk about why flow requires emotional openness, not emotional control.